Yeah.
I think I won't like it as much as you guys do it though.
Thanks, man.
Shout out to you, my nigga. Bitch.
Next one we have episode 19, the 3 sword styles pass.
Oh, let's go!
Oh, it's about Zoro!
That's
You're about to
Zoro.
love this episode!
Yeah,
That's your
his
favorite
episode.
character! Oh
they
my
got me
God.
on this bitch ass nigga. Him and Kakashi are part of the bitch squad.
Yo.
Definitely in that squad.
Nigga.
All 3 bitch ass niggas.
My nigga Kakashi not no bitch though, but that's a talk for Naruto. But my nigga
Yeah,
Kakashi
nigga.
not no bitch.
Zoro's probably gonna be the worst swordsman in anime history. He's gonna be with that bitch nigga. What's that nigga's show you like again? The don't bootleg Ronnie Kenshin with the sword? The demon nigga?
I'm not gonna answer you.
Yaroshi? I mean, not Yaroshi.
Inuyasha?
Yeah, Zoro's gonna be, this arc I'm predicting is gonna be worse than that show. Zoro's a bitch using 2 swords.
It's harder to use 2 swords than it is to use 1, so that's
What?
actually talent.
What?
What?
What? If I have 2 swords, I have a high chance of beating.
No, you don't. It's,
you actually have to
it's
know how to
really
use
harder
2
to use
swords.
2 swords than it is to use 1.
Okay. You though.
So-
Well, he's
if
still
you're a
lost
swordsman,
regardless.
2 swords help you. That's all I'm saying, my nigga. If you're a swordsman and
If
you
that's
know
your
how to use
style,
swords.
if that's your style.
Okay, bro. Every fight movie, you
It's
always
more
say they try to
difficult.
get 2
It's
swords
more
to
difficult to
fight.
learn.
It's
It's
two
more
swords
difficult to
and
learn how to
moves.
use 2 swords than it is to use 1.
No
And
one's-
he's not
but
fully,
I'm
and
not-
he's not even
But
fully
that's
mastered
not my
his sword.
argument. I'm saying that if you know how to use 2 swords, you actually have an advantage. That's what I'm saying, my nigga. Like, what are you arguing?
Against a master swordsman with
I'm
one?
saying somebody that knows how to
that's
use
what I'm
swords.
saying,
And they
like,
have
I
2
don't think
swords.
so.
You have, yeah, you do, bro.
I don't think so.
So it's a disadvantage. So I don't get why niggas.
I don't think it's a
put 2 swords.
disadvantage. I just feel like
If someone's mastered in 1 and the nigga's
And
mastered
a
in
nigga-
2, then it's
Okay,
like...
Well, he's
so
not
who has
even
the
fully-
advantage?
you know what's
If
crazy?
you're
He's not
mastered
even
in 1
fully
and one's
mastered
mastered in
in
2, who has the better advantage?
I don't think. I don't
If they're
think
both
they have it.
masters.
They're both I don't think anybody has the advantage.
Okay.
It just goes down
Alright.
to who's gonna fight.
Okay.
This is
I
a
think
master
it
of 2 different styles. Like
Yeah.
me being a master
Okay,
of
but I'm
karate
saying
and you're a
two-
master
you
of
have
Muay
2
Thai.
weapons in
nigga.
your hands. I'll assume you have a better chance, bro. And you're a master at it. If there's 2 masters and you have 2 swords and you're a master at 2 swords,
I don't think you have the advantage, bro.
nigga, you gonna cry like baby death?
Like, you sit in this situation, I'll be shocked if you didn't cry, nigga. The hell?
She's dead, Rob.
Yeah.
And then back to the sword debate. To be a master of 2 swords, isn't it still being a master of 1 sword?
No.
No.
It's 2 different styles.
No. Because what I'm saying is, if you just because if I take 1 sword, I'm still a master with 1 sword.
No, because remember we seen him earlier, how he was using 2 swords and he's like, yo, I'm not good at this. Then he got 3 swords and Daniel was like, oh, I'm with the shits because
yeah, but
he's
that's
mastered.
not what I'm saying. No, I'm
that.
talking about master of it though. I'm saying if he mastered, because think about if you're a master of 1 sword, I'm a master of 3 swords. Who has better advantage?
No,
Nigga, you
if
gotta
you're a master of
understand-
Let's
1,
answer that question. If I'm a master of 1 sword and my opponent is a master of 3, and we're about to fight, who would you put your money on?
I don't know.
no, I'll be honest with you. In that situation, I would probably put my money on the 3 swordsman.
What about you, Jerry?
No, that's just me though.
I would put
so.
it. I would put it on the 1 swordsman just because it's easier. Like it's easier to maneuver with 1 sword versus.
But you're a
the other.
master.
I
so
know,
it's
exactly.
But
easy
as
for
a
you.
master,
Exactly,
you can
that's
witness
what
the
I'm saying.
vulnerabilities though.
No,
Because there's the vulnerabilities as having throwing 3 swords.
I'm
though.
not saying. I'm just saying if the 2 masters, who has a higher chance of winning?
Nah,
That's
I don't.
it.
I don't think that's right. Making you a master of 3 doesn't mean you're a master of 1 or 2.
No, but I'm not.
You're studying the master of 3.
But if I'm a master of 3 swords and you're a master of 1, you have to watch out for 3 swords, and I have to watch out for 1.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm
you
just
gotta
saying,
understand. You gotta understand. When I'm fighting with 1, I'm using both hands. When you're fighting with 3, you have 1 hand here, so you're dividing the power of each strike.
Okay, I understand
Yeah.
that.
And
but
she
I'm
even
saying-
said
it's-
too,
it's-
when you have swords, more swords is heavier. She even said that to
But I
him. It's
said
like,
it's
yo,
a
it
master,
reduces your
because like
strength.
you keep saying, because you keep saying, because I can tell you, having 1 sword, you're not able to, you have to watch it for 2 swords. If you had 1, you could block multiple. I can tell you weaknesses having 1 sword. That's
Yeah,
not what I'm saying.
exactly.
I'm saying
Both of them
if
have
we're
their
But I'm
vulnerabilities.
saying with both masters, I'm saying who has a higher chance. And it's, I think if you're a master of 3 swords versus a master of 1, you have a higher chance because you have to watch out for literally 3 swords.
I think if you're a master of 1, you have a better chance just because it's easier to maneuver with 1 sword. Like
But
it's easier. It's easier.
The person
to,
that has 3
it's
is easy for them to
defense.
maneuver because they master it. So I'm saying that's not irrelevant.
Nah, but even if they still
master,
master
yeah,
it,
it is easy.
even
for,
if they still
'cause know
master
how
it,
to
and this
move
isn't
with
even
it.
this isn't even fact. This is what because I know I know for a fact that it's harder to learn how to use 2 swords versus 1. But like this is why I honestly think because you're using 2 swords and it's harder to learn, that it's harder to maneuver. Also, that's why I'm saying because it's harder to maneuver, 2 masters two masters, two masters, one who has one and one who has two, I think the person with one would be able to beat them because they would be able to maneuver easy.
Okay. If you were a master of one sword and you had two opponents to go against in a tournament, a master of one sword and a master of three swords, who would you rather go against?
I would rather go against a master of three because I think I could maneuver easier. Like,
and there's no way to
I'm gonna ask you guys out there too in the comments. I'm not saying which one's better. Just honestly, if you had to go against a master of one sword and a master of three swords, and you have one sword, who would you rather go against?
I'll definitely pick the three, only because there's no way a nigga with one hand, one sword is gonna be stronger than me with two hands. So I feel like I could definitely throw you off balance if you swing one more, and then I can catch you. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And I feel like three swords is no way. Like you're thinking. I feel like Robbie's thinking of the predictability of getting attacked all three at once with one sword. Like I feel like that would be the worst case scenario for a sword master to swing with all three swords at once. I feel like I feel like you're putting yourself at the ultimate disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, if you miss, you're shifting all your weight
towards
that.
No. I'm basing it because at the end of the day, I take swords fighting, watching other fighting shows. Like even in Star Wars, The Jedi, if the first episode, the nigga that had two was more dangerous.
He still lost though.
No, he lost because two of them had to fight. And the only way the Jedi won, you remember how he won, right? He had the other guy died and he grabbed his other lightsaber and had two lightsabers to beat him. Yeah. So I'm basing it off of now seeing fights of other shows, and when usually a nigga has master of two, it's harder. And a lot of even samurai shows, if a nigga masters two, he is harder than a nigga with one. So I'm basing it off of what I've seen. That's why I'm basing it off of. And Star Wars is a prime example. Episode 1, go check that out.
Even Rurouni Kenshin, he fought Aoshi Shinimari, who had two swords, and he was able to defeat him twice in the show.
Yeah, but I didn't say you couldn't. I'm just saying who's harder and who has a higher chance is what I'm saying. Who would you rather? Yeah. I never said that one sword can't beat three. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying who has a higher chance of winning. If you had to predict and going in, I'll say, if I'm basing off from other stuff, I have a lot of examples where a person with two swords is harder, and I was like,
so you are saying a nigga with two will win more.
I said he had you know what the argument started from? He had two swords against one, and I said literally, yo, he got an advantage on her. He has two swords. You niggas like, that's not an advantage. I literally said he is better. That's how it started. That's exactly.
No, I know that's how it started. I'm just telling you how to think that.
Because the thing is,
I'm saying, you're saying he asked me if are you saying he's strong? I'm like, yeah, that's the whole point I was saying.
No, but the thing is, that your conversation based on mastering. You got that. I personally think
two people on an even level because they two are on even levels.
I feel like it's like for me, and even when you asked me originally, I said I would be more intimidated by a person with three swords for a fact. But based on the conversation we was having at that moment, Zoro was outclassed because of the fact he had two swords and he didn't have the strength to be able to wield them. And that's why she was able to catch him in the middle every single time. And that's like the positive of working with one sword, because you can go right through the defense.
But literally, when I said it, he was winning. So that happened after. Literally, when it happened, I said, "Yo, he was fucking her up." I'm like, "Damn, he got an advantage."
And then I was telling you that.
So before, you could be right on that. But when I said that didn't occur yet. So me saying that didn't happen yet.
Yeah, and I was countering you, and then while it was going on,
I reacted to what I seen. I said, "Oh, he got it," and you niggas came out and said, he don't got it, and that was before that happened. So that argument was based on if they were even, and from there I thought they were even. So that's why I said that.
No, I know why you said that. That's why I was like, when you said that he had the advantage, and it did look like that, I'm like, yo, bro, but there's still issues of having multiple swords, and it continue on and showing the.
I'm saying we both masters of it. The nigga with the twos, I feel like it's harder.
All I gotta do is say it's Killer B, my nigga. Killer B had Matt. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. I feel you because of situations like that. I feel you.
From what I've seen.
We've seen what happened right there. You have to be a real deal master, and each has a chance of winning.
Sasuke had one, they ended up winning the fight. Anyway.
They all jumped him, though.
So,
they all jumped him.
Sasuke got revived like twice.
I broke that fight after they fought with swords the whole time.
But they got jumped. That wasn't a one-on-one fight.
So why don't
so three swords versus four niggas.
I broke the fight.
I didn't bring up the fight.
I brought it up because
so I'm saying that we can't use that as a good example on both sides.
I didn't bring it up though. I didn't bring it up.
No, I'm not saying you brought it up. I'm not saying you brought it up. I know who brought it up. I was just asking a question.
He's on y'all side and he brought it up.
I brought it up because at the end of the day, we can all agree. We just watched the episode. This nigga Sasuke was like, there was a moment of time, a good moment of time, when he was fighting Killer B by himself with his sword, got his ass whooped. We all said it too. He got torched.
Like I said, and I'm gonna stick with this. I really think it's easier to maneuver with one sword because
And I agree.
You have less weight.
I agree.
You have more. You have more speed, and that's the thing. He's losing speed using two swords. Like,
He's losing
he's
speed
losing
and power.
And
I
it's
agree.
like in the
I
case
would say it's
with
more
Shorty, who's been a master at this sword shit for years, and it's just getting better and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
As he's getting better, she's still gonna outshine him because he's trying to learn a harder art, my nigga.
I
Like
feel-
versus
but
her.
we've seen him beat multiple people with-
Nah, we seen him. We seen him.
feel me?
You're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
absolutely
And
right.
then remember when I said it, that was before she was winning. I literally reacted to that. Was my reaction when I seen it. So that part doesn't. It's not like it was the end and I said that. I literally seen it when he was winning, and I'm like, damn, he got an advantage because he has two swords.
Winning against who?
The girl when he was fighting her.
He was never winning against.
He when I said it, that he literally was, bro. That was literally my reaction. That's why I reacted. I literally like, oh, and she was pushing back, and I'm like, oh damn, and then she came back.
I don't know, man.
That was my reaction. I'm sorry.
It's cool, man.
What do you guys think? Master of one swords versus a master of two swords, who would win? Or master of three swords? Does having more swords put you at an advantage if
you know
you're
how
a
to use
master?
it.
Yeah, if you're a master of it. Shout out to my nigga Zoro, man.
Yo, shout out to Zoro, bitch nigga, with the swords. And just remember, episode 1, Sith. What's that nigga's name? Not the Sith Lord.
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
Yeah.
2. Them niggas had to get 2 swords to fight him back. The Jedi needed to get 2 to keep up.
That don't count too,
How
because
does it-
Obi-Wan was still he's still a youngin, my nigga.
I ain't Rob City, I don't know what he said.
Not
bro.
Obi-Wan, fucking
Like,
homie.
he
The
didn't-
nigga that fight, he wasn't
Anakin
a
didn't
master.
fight Darth Maul.
He wasn't. He
Anakin
wasn't.
didn't fight him.
Luke.
Yeah,
Luke.
Luke didn't fight Darth Maul either.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan was the one.
It was
You were on the right
Obi-Wan
track. It was
thing.
Obi-Wan and
He
his
said-
trainer. He killed his trainer, but Obi-Wan ended up killing him.
Yeah,
No, but I'm saying that the nigga was a master, though. That's what I'm saying.
But how did he kill him though, Jerry?
I don't even remember.
He had to grab his other master sword and fight with 2 swords to fight him. That's what I'm saying. He literally had to get 2 swords to fight him because he had 2 swords.
Yo, it's a man, the myth, the legend, Wilkins_RT. Another example of one sword beating two swords was in my favorite movie, Kill Bill Volume 1, when he's fighting the Crazy 88 and she's fighting the leader and she's whooping his ass with one sword because she can maneuver better.
I never said you can't. I said a chance. Roni Kenshin, my favorite. Like Joel said, beat the nigga that had this big.
Oh no,
sword,
you had an
sword.
example. I was just picking an example too. That was like,
That man tried to such out.
Yeah, and also I just want to say this. Lightsabers ain't swords, and that's the round table.